Hello, my name is Tokes and welcome to Watered Seed Talks. Now these group of women in this video are going to inspire us through their experiences and their choices. Choices they believe has helped them to shapen their world in the paths that they've chosen. Now before going into the videos, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the women in these videos who have sent me their videos, some of them late at night after the day's hectic schedule. So I do applaud you. Thank you for sharing your experiences with the world without receiving a penny. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Abidare and I'm an author and a storyteller. I am very excited to share with you 4 choices that have impacted my life. Number 1, the choice to follow my dreams. For a very long time, I think for as long as I remember, from being a teenager, I've always loved telling stories. So writing books, writing plays, sharing my stories with friends and family. Even in secondary school, I'd always wanted to share, to explore that part of myself and to follow that dream. And even through a lot of adversity, a lot of rejection, a lot of delayed requests to prayer, to opportunities, I still didn't give up. I kept on writing, kept on believing that one day something would come out of this, and I am glad I did, because it did pay off. So yes, choosing to follow my dreams, not giving up in the face of everything that came my way, is one of my choices. Secondly, it's my faith in God, my faith, choosing to have faith in the midst of really, really tough situations, and just choosing to believe that things will get better, that tomorrow will be better than today, which is something my character says a lot in my novel. Just believing that things will turn out okay. And this is carried by my faith in God and my belief that that everything works together for good for me. I think number 3 for me is being intentional, being choosing the right circle of relationships around me, marriage, friendships, even relationships with family members, deciding how and who to let into my, not my circle, because I don't even have anything as large as a circle. It's like a little mini triangle of my support system that help me from an emotional, mental, physical well-being. They give advice that help me. They're truthful to me, and I don't feel like I have to be less of who I am or more of who I am when I'm around them. These people, and finding who these people are, and it's taking years, I think has been very, very beneficial. Making the choice to do that has been beneficial. The final thing is making a choice to make a positive impact in the lives of the people I meet. I try very hard to leave people feeling better about themselves if I'm in that position than when I first met them. And this is a daily choice that I make, is when I meet somebody, I try very hard to make them feel better. And it's not an easy thing for somebody like me. I find that relating to people it can be hard, even though I'm not an introvert, but I find that it can sometimes be a challenge for me. So I try very hard to leave people a lot better than how I met them, and I know it's been very helpful, particularly even my children. So, you know, my kids come back from school, and I say to myself, I will try to make them feel better for hanging around me and being around me. So those are some of my 4 choices that have been able to help shape my life. There's a lot more, but those are 4 that I choose to share with you.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I'm a development manager. I would say that 4 choices that has changed my life are no in particular order. First choice would be surrounding myself with like-minded people that are non-judgmental, people that have a positive attitude to life, and also look forward to the future, planning ahead for the future. I would say my second choice would be the way I bring up my children. It's different to the way I was brought up. I'm teaching my children to be humble, to work to their utmost best, educate them, and most importantly for me, allow them to make their choices in life themselves without any pressure, but be supportive and make sure that they do what they want to do in life. I believe that the world has got so many options for them, so by guiding them and being there for them is the best. I would say my third choice that I've made in life is health, ensuring that I take care of myself, the family, making the right choices in terms of the food we eat, what we put on our skin, and just educating my girls on what is healthy, exercising, and taking care of a very important aspect, which is our body. And I would say the final choice would probably be financial empowerment. I believe that's quite important. Financial objective I've set for myself, and basically mastering self-control and planning for the future. I think that's very important.
My name is Biodun Arikawi. My passion is working with children, vulnerable children specifically. I think one of the things that has changed my life is when I decided to be a stay-at-home mom over some time, over a period of, I think it was about 7 years. I think it gave me a newfound appreciation for women that choose to be full-time moms and stay-at-home moms. Another thing that has changed my life was when I decided to leave my change career entirely close to 40, and that is obviously to pursue my passion working with vulnerable children, even though that was not what I planned to do. But life experiences, personal experiences, which sort of move you in directions that you never thought you would. So I think for me, those are key things. I think for me, the third thing is, just making that conscious effort and making that conscious decision not to always wait for people to check on you, because you never know what people are actually going through. So I think for me, I made that decision to actually seek out people and just check how they're doing and not hold any sort of grudge against people because they've not checked on you. And I think since then, it's just opened a bigger, better line of communication for me with people that I love. And I think the final thing is that decision to actually seek inner peace. I think when I started to realize that inner peace for me was a priority and I started to seek that, then I think for me that just made me happier.
My name is Oluwaseun Ibirunke, and I am passionate about music and people. Aside giving my life to Christ at an early age, which completely transformed my life and guided the major decisions I made in life, I think number one was surrounding myself with the right kind of people, having positive influence over my life and having good friends that share the same goals that I do. Also is trying not to be like every other person, just being who God has made me to be, being who I am. And another one is not listening to the noise outside, having an internal knowing and trusting the Holy Spirit and just trusting the little voice, the still voice on the inside when making major decisions. And another choice I think I made was just not being afraid to be different. Just daring to be different, not following what everyone was doing, not following the crowd, not following what was popular or what was trending at the time, and just having a firm sense of worth, knowing who I am and being confident in the power that God has placed on the inside of me. And these major choices has changed my life and completely guided my way through life, and it's still guiding my way through life. And I hope you're inspired and you're encouraged.
Hi, my name is Annie. I am best known as Anita Hair Coach. I am UK's first hair coach and an accredited trichologist. I'm going to narrow all 4 of my choices as it relates to my career, as opposed to jumping between career and personal life. 1, making the choice after uni that every job I have would have to fall under these 3. I set standards, basically, was the lesson I learned quickly. Standards. My 3 standards for any job was 1, the people I work with. We have to like each other. It has to be a genuine likeness. You hear far too often of people saying, oh, I hear my manager, they're whinging, they're nagging. You spend more time in that place of work than you do at home. I don't want to be in an environment where the person sat next to me or the person I report to, I can't stand her. If she just coughs, or if I just cough, I irritate her. So that was my number 1 standard. Number 2 standard was knowledge. I wanted to grow in knowledge. I wanted to be very knowledgeable and very educated in what I was doing, that I was seen as an authority. You know, sometimes when you speak to someone at work and you get off the phone and you say, how did that person even get that job, or why is that person still here? I never wanted anyone to look at me in that light. The 3rd one was money. Remuneration had to be good. I need to be well compensated. So if I was leaving, most people leave jobs because they're looking for more money, which it's fine, but I wanted it to be one of the other 3 as well if I was leaving. So literally after uni, if I stayed at a job for more than 6 months, it's because I felt I had those 3. The 2nd choice I made was with regards to not quitting my jobs. So despite the fact that at this point the healthy hair studio by Anita was thriving, I didn't quit. Everybody told me to quit. Why are you suffering yourself doing 2 jobs? And that's because they didn't know my prayer prior to that point, that I said to God, I need a job with these 3. If I tell the story in full, it makes sense. So despite what everyone is saying to you, what is your spirit telling you? I didn't quit. Everybody, there was not a single person that told me to stay with that job, but I didn't quit. I stayed in that job for 6 years, despite the fact that the hair studio was thriving. Their choice was not being afraid to go against the norm. One of the things I like to credit myself on, and I hope people will see that, is I don't speak about things that are too comfortable when it comes to Afro hair textured. So I was that person that broke what we were culturally told as a people as it came to our hair care. And despite the fact that I was the only one saying it, I was okay being the only one saying it in a room full of 200 people. And sometimes I had to prove myself worthy because no one else was saying that. So the lesson there is, even if you're standing alone, stand alone bold.
Hi, I'm Inda. By day, I'm a data migration test manager, but I also run 2 small businesses on the side. I'm going to talk about 4 choices that have changed my life. The first choice was to go on a more personal journey spiritually, and that meant not something that was prescribed by a Christian or a religious collective, but going on a journey that was personal to me and to God, and to how I exercise my faith. The second choice was to be more intentional about how or with whom I spend my time, my energy and my resources. That one has been quite pivotal actually, because it's just meant that I've saved tons of time, tons of drama, and just tons of headache in general, and sometimes money. The third choice was to set boundaries. That was another one. And sometimes setting boundaries meant that what I needed to do was to critically think about what had happened and my contribution to it, or how I enabled situations that I might have liked or might have not liked to happen, and then speaking up against what it is that I really didn't want to have happen again. But also sometimes it also meant that I did my communication quietly. It was just silence, and that's how I communicated my boundaries, depending on the scenario, whichever approach worked. The fourth choice was to bloom in my purpose and to bloom in my creativity. But more than that, to take my children on the journey with me and to give them the orientation that I was able to enable them do the same. Thank you.
My name is Olapeju Adenuga, and what is my passion? Well, I'm a lawyer, and my passion is learning. I've recently realized that to continue to move the momentum, you have to be an avid learner, a lifelong learner. So that's my passion. So what are the 4 choices that I have made? Number 1, I realized at a very early age that I needed to choose God without being religious, because this is not about being religious, it's more about spirituality and developing my own relationship with God. I realized that it made me shed off a lot of things that I had considered so important. It made me shed the idea of having to succumb to others' way of living, and so that I chose my circle carefully. When I was younger, it was easy to attach and be friends with everyone, but later in life I realized that I was different, and I had to choose my circle carefully to retain sanity, to retain authenticity, and to retain peace and service. I also realized that I needed to serve others, dish selfishness and serve others. And so many times I tried to volunteer, I tried to do things that would not come naturally for me, but I realized that, as I decided to live this life that my creator lives for me daily, laying his life, I have to do that for contentment. I've realized that I have to be content with where I am, what stage. That's not to mean that I wouldn't chase my dreams. My dreams are valid, but I also realize I need to understand my journey myself, not to look at others, not to use others as a yardstick, and that has helped me retain a lot of sanity and authenticity and walk my own journey, and just stay happy and excited, to be a better friend, wife, mother, sister, and what have you. So I think that I'll stop with that for now.